Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, another wondrous Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, Master of Propaganda. We're off here to 1 vs 1 on the road to Kharkov. Pwnagemachine, which will of course be referring to as Pavlov here, fighting for the Soviet Union. And the 5th Tank Corps here with defensive tactics, partisan tactics, and urban defense tactics. An interesting mix of commanders versus Jesulin, fighting for Germany. Whoops, that was not supposed to happen. That is the pausing of the match. And fighting here for Germany for the Groß Deutschland. To be shown with Festung armor, elite troops, and assault support. Sturmunterstützung. So Grenadiers are on their way already for Jesulin. Over to Pavlov. Focusing up on the west side initially, going for the fuel. Rather interesting camping order there. Units sneaking up here, there, and then down there, while some other unit takes that. Interesting. Another counter squad arrives there so far. Both sides rather going for something rather similar. Points there being secured. Seems so far western focus there, whereas there's an eastern, northeastern focus there from Jesulin. Nothing out in the ordinary there. Both players pretty much going for their closest fuel point, which tends to be, well, pretty much standard operating procedure. The only slight deviation being maybe they go also for the munitions point, although rather in this case the munitions point here is actually closer to the one down the south. Fun fact.
Our unit count is increasing.
It is now under our
We're slowly advancing here, Grenadiers going down south. Coming under fire there from the Grenadiers. And quickly pulling up inside a small shed. Not really good position. There we go, and they'll have to realize it. Ah, scheiße! There are no windows in the south side, only a door. And we cannot shoot through a door. High command forbids it for some reason. There we go. Rather poor engagement here for Jesulin. Perhaps you realise a bit too soon that a bunch of cut freights is not necessarily the best cover. In particular when they don't even get up to your knees. Pulling up here behind some much larger stack crates, thus providing slightly better and more ample cover. But there we go, Jesulin now providing out slightly more stable front, but at the same time his force is already a bit depleted here. One Grenadier squad not looking too good. Though we do see the conscripts have taken a thrashing as well. They won't soon be forgetting. More conscripts are rolling in. And we are noting here a 3rd Grenadier squad here arriving for Jesulin.
Fresh conscripts have arrived.
Of course, question here, what will Pavlov do in response to all of this?
We have taken it.
Looks like he might be setting up front. There, Grenadier squad moving in, might get exposed out in the open. Conscripts here need to be careful, though they are a bit more exposed. On the other hand, if they both focus down that Grenadier squad, particularly the squad over here, if they can get up to the ditch there, the Grenadiers will be in a spot of trouble. So in fact, you should probably move in here to the ditch by the trees. And there you go, guys being forced back. And Communist executes back another one of Jesulin's squads. Jesulin all of a sudden down to only 2 squads here. One squad being pulled away, one reacting here. In fact, leaving the building there, allowing, there we go. Pavlov seizes the opening. More Grenadiers arriving. Flamethrowers up, coming into the nearby building. Another squad taking up positions there. But if they move over there quickly out, getting a bit closer, a bit dangerous. More countries are arriving. They might have the chance to overwhelm the fascists inside the house. This country squad on the other hand, so there go Grenadiers quickly pushing them away. And there go Grenadiers forced out of the premises. Pioneers joining in with their machine and pistolen. Another country squad mine from another side, sneaking up there, might harass. And there go, we're seeing urban defense, and we are seeing a forward barracks up here. Absolutely vicious spot to choose it on, by the way. Right next to both cut-off points here, pretty much dominating any access to the few points. And most strategic points here, that is absolutely viciously played right there by Pavlov. Of course, the mortars should also be reasonably able to sort of safely reach it, but at the same time, I mean, already there, cutting things off, you should have a chance of basically laying down a vicious defense if he plays his cards the right way. Now, we do see here that at the same time, Jesulin is aggressively going in to harass in return. Still, we are noting here that he's still getting more fuel than his opponent, a lot more. So, meanwhile, of course, this should be, will of course cost a bit of fuel overall due to the fact he's getting more fuel and, well, his opponent, of course, getting less fuel. I think he'll be able to make up the difference if he can hold this position for a few minutes, basically. It's not going to require any more than that. So a bit of well play here by Pavlov, and he can easily turn this into a further stronger advantage.
Workers of the Soviet Union.
But he can do some proper damage to his opponent in the process. Constantly then moving back. They could have moved up to sort of try and harass that few point. Looks like it's against it at the moment. Troops here getting pinned down. Constantly there fighting. Gonna need a bit of trouble. Need to be careful. There we go. Taking heavy losses there. And running back here to waterfall bags. Might take up precision MD42 shifting. Get the fuel point there and reconnect here. Here we go. Pioneers pushing away. Continued fighting here and already again. Oh, we do see he's actually sort of getting things slightly back there. Slightly. But not fully. In particular not once this is reconnected. And there we go. Pavlov continues to hold on here. No mortar so far. So again. No mortar. Few more minutes, and he will definitely made in that difference in terms of 60 fuel he spent on this. And then overall plus the manpower really should overall make quite a dent here on Jesulin. Also in particular seems he's also getting a ton of munitions out of this. So it's hardly all bad here, but again, he needs to get that other fuel point as well, preferably. The more fuel he can get out of this, of course, the better, but of course he's also getting a ton of munitions. Right now would also be an idea to actually get back some units that set up a support weapon company and get a mortar. That way he would actually get something to counter the mortar, which would be the inevitable counter to this one. I mean, he's got the resources for it, so right now he could consider either getting a company squad or just putting this one back to do it. And there you go, finally up to secure the fuel point. Either way, I mean, really he's got a nasty kind of pin off here on Jesulin, but he's rather not, how should we say, exploiting the advantage of it. He's rather taking a bit casually here. And that could wind up giving Jesulin a bit of an advantage. In particular now he's bringing up Norton again. What do we see here? I mean, he's got a huge resource advantage. He's not pulling it through. He's not even trying to sort of get a mortar, which again, to counter the inevitable German mortar. I mean, there's a few problems there, I have to say. But right there goes getting the other fuel point, and still got 2 fuel points. In fact, he's got a ton of munitions. And again, the fuel is just really in his favour. There we go, a bit delayed, but there we go. Support them coming in, might be going up now.
Enemy squad has us sighted. We are ready to build it.
Units pressing in there. He might be able to reconnect there though. But no, looks like he actually does not. There we go. Things are about to get a bit more hectic here for Pavlov. Jesulin is striking back. There goes support them company is up, but again I can't help but feel a bit too late. And now the forward barracks here, so stalwartly erected for the glory of the Soviet peoples, is beginning to fall apart. And again going for the call points here. Jesulin knowing what he wants to deny his opponent some resources if possible. So good sharp thinking there from Jesulin while he's trying to bring down the house here. He's at the same time trying to sort of minimize the amount of resources that Pavlov can try and exploit out of this situation. And so far he's actually working that out reasonably well. Again, particularly because he was a bit slow, I think, in getting up support weapon company and then getting anything out of it.
Protection of enemy vehicles can now be achieved.
So that, I think, is a bit of a shame. In fact, now we see he's been utterly forced out of the field. So well played there by Jesulin. Well played. Medics dropping dead or wounded. Jesulin apparently leaves all the women screaming. Ah ha 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 ha. Anyways.
Flamethrower is ready.
Conscripts moving out. Mortar popping up there as well.
Soviet HQ now includes
There we go. Gonna be harassing, doing all right there again. I mean, in this case, I mean, Jesulin does make the correct strategic decision and realise, okay, I might not be able to get the resources to clear this up, but now in fact he is. I mean, instead sort of goes around the point rather than directly trying to charge it in until he's sort of cleared out with other more safer measures. So that regard again, good strategic decision. He might not be able to sort of get a lot of resources out of it, but at least he's doing something to deny his opponent resource. In this case, also draining a bit of manpower. So some sharp thinking there from Jesulin, minimising the effect of the forward headquarters. Again, not a bad idea, but sadly I do think that Pavlov here could have done a lot more with it. And also, surprisingly, considering all the munitions he was getting in, he laid not down a single mine. Again, with the amount of map control he had, more mines should also have been rather you know, there, but they weren't. And now, in fact, now that once the forward defense post is already fallen and the front lines are being pushed back, first then is laying down mines. I definitely think that is another strategic fumble there. Rather fumbling with his own initiative there and missing out another chance to sort of really make things unpleasant for Jesulin. And there you go, the Granate there for merrily firing away with 8cm bombs.
Ours! It is ours!
Now we are seeing him really sort of lay down a lot of mines. Even demo charges, but again they should have been up a lot sooner. So that's not to say they'll be useless, but again, overall, I do think the overall effect of them will be limited. Drive grenade flag through it. Oh, absolutely vicious hit, almost devastating the entire Conscript squad. And there we go, a squad lost there on retreat for Pavlov. Now Jesulin is striking back. He's getting vengeance for all the German soldiers lost. Oh, Mordran sets off the demo charge. Ach, scheiße.
What are your orders?
And Conscript really trying with a nice deep flank. Are actually still stopped by the MD-42 here. We do see that Pavlov now has a mortar, but it's just not getting quite the same kind of traction that Jesulin's mortar is. And we also see he's picking up an anti-tank gun because he's probably figuring, well, my opponent's had all these resources for such a long time, he might be getting armor next. So in that regard, I mean, Jesulin's made a correct reading of his opponent, which is always good to see. Commies are doing what they can, but they're simply taking too much of a beating as well. Jesulin is basically just striking back hard and mercilessly. And we're seeing here that Pavlov is basically falling back in a bit of disarray. Hoping perhaps now that a tank can turn the tide. And we are seeing here that Jesulin is taking up at the same time due to the fuel that's been denied to him. He's having a bit of a harder time at it.
Has been upgraded.
So there we go, all of a sudden he's got the side advantage there. Mortar firing away. And so it's that mine there. Might he hit the mine? Oh! There we go, almost lost the entire grenadier squad right there, that's going to hurt. But looks like he will escape. Troops quietly reinforcing before making their move again.
Ready. We are ready.
Shifting back the mortar there a bit, and he's moving out for Deutschland. Whoops. Not sure why it keeps doing that.
Sector is ours.
Pavlov here making out in a much broader sweep now. It looks like here that Jesulin is mortaring away, hoping to catch some interlopers. On the move. MD-40 holding things up here. And looks like he actually lost a squad somewhere. A mine. Nope, might have been a booby trap actually, considering the United 6 command points. That was likely a booby trap right there. That wiped out one of Jesulin's infantry squads there. MD-42 holding up, but ultimately pushed away about too many infantry plus the mortar and support. Rather than make that a dangerous proposition to hold on for the machine gun crew there. Pushing up there for the victory point, Grenadiers moving in.
Enemy forces are securing our territory. The Russians are attacking!
We're seeing here that Pavlov is rapidly taking advantage of to make some rapid moves and rapid gains. Of course, at the same time, very much risks running a bit too far ahead and quickly getting stopped down again. Also, plenty of manpower being floated here by Pavlov. He could consider getting out some more things. Another infantry squad, perhaps a Maxim, another mortar, perhaps some anti-tank guns or field guns. And he's, well, might be getting a tank now, but still spending some of that manpower would be ideal. Or a fuel cache. The options are definitely there. No commander so far chosen here by Jesulin. Fuel pond there being secured once more. Pavlov here knowing what he wants to go for.
Standing by!
Now we go laying down some smoke to cover the retreat right there. Interesting move.
We have taken it. Our opponents are seizing a sector.
But Jesulin threatens to make another vicious push, and there we go, he's almost getting a tank. Field gun arriving there for Pavlov. And at the same time the tank as well. T-3476.
Contact! Ready for anything!
MG42 actually not quite able to hit many troops. Oh, there we go, actually managed to suppress this squad still. Mortar rounds continue to fire away. Field gun T-34 needs to move out. Quickly, comrades, to the front! Panzerkampfwagen 4 soon arriving for the Großdeutschland. Bit of other things moving forward. Scandinavians here tearing into some other unfortunate souls. There we go, being a bit too far ahead and immediately coming under fire there. Another push there. I mean, we are seeing here that Pavlov is sort of shifting from point to point, hoping to keep Jesulin a bit guessing, it would seem, which is not a bad idea overall. I mean, the more I can keep the defender guessing if you're attacking, the better, because that means he can't focus his defenders where he wants them. And has to be sort of more cautious in how he approaches things as well. And there we go, Panzerkampfwagen 4 moves ahead. Machine gun on the way. Oh! Mortar killed his own men! That was definitely unfortunate. Field gun pushing up in support of the T-34. The T-34 sadly being a bit held back. I think he could have done a bit with it had he been a bit more aggressive with it. But seems like here and that Pavlov is holding back quite a bit. But there we go. First engagement with the T-34 going to come in. A 5 field gun announcing its presence as well with a bang. More infantry, more support just moving up there to support the spearhead there at a maximum now. Also finally arriving. Certainly took a bit of while there for Pavlov to get it out. Tank 4 coming under fire here from the field gun. T-34 opening up as well. Pack 40 though also picks up support here, so both players basically ensuring that their armor has support from anti-tank guns and field guns. Good thinking there from either side, definitely. And here we see an forward MG4 track able to catch the maximum there. That was definitely a bit bold. Things are definitely a bit chaotic here. And we are seeing here that Pavlov is building up for another assault mount going down there to cover the flank just in case. Shifting back the T-34, noting another boob trap. Good, good. And close to getting the mortar there, but just in reaction time. And oh, demo charge got the MG42 crew. No booby trap. Second unit there wiped out.
We are losing the sector.
Nasty work there. And that should definitely open up here for a nice opportunity there for Pavlov with an MG42 in his hands. Again, going for the fuel pump there. Very intent, very focused play there. I do think he should have the field gun out a bit further to cover than his conscript taking a point there, because it should be obvious that Panther was most likely going to be the response and not an Opel Blitz or something like that. Anyways, oh, good lord! That Panther really did a job on those conscripts. And again, I can't help but feel this field gun should have been marked further. Or the T-34, something. There's a bit too unsupported there. MG4 to the crew, and he's quickly moving and punching it, but oh. It looks like they barely escaped the wrath of the Wehrmacht. Points are definitely the advantage of Pavlov here for the time being.
We are ready. Contact.
How can we help?
They're going for the cut-off points. Looks like Jesulin might soon have the territorial advantage. Properly for once.
We have 300 points remaining.
This is a nice spot of land.
And Pavlov should be able to get another T-34 soon if he so fancies. And that's getting a bit of an advantage. Then again, Jesulin is all getting close to another Panther's voice, sort of been able to sort of really hold on to the territory much better than previously. Pioneers here, taking a bit of a whipping. Field gun still, I'm feeling not really providing the proper support for Pavlov's frontline troops. He's keeping them too far back. And that's overall leaving his infantry quite exposed in several cases to the Panzer IV. Alternating, still no sign of a commander there for Jesulin. Still no sign of a commander. And then in fact he's exposing one field gun here. I mean, Pavlov seems to be making some odd tactical decisions with his field guns, to be honest, and I'm not convinced they're the best ones. There we go, Panzer IV finally takes 3 hits. Panzer IV number 2 on the way. Gunner is what flanking in, but commander fire from flame from the veteran 2 combat engineers. They should definitely be able to present a bit of a threat there. 2 the Grenadier. Another combat squad moving in. In fact, 2 flamethrowers, and there we go. Fritz and Helmut forced away before they catch on fire. Troops hanging about there. They could definitely do with a bit of work there. Quickly back in the field. I mean, the machine guns should definitely be there to sort of provide some pressure against the fascist foot troops.
Grenadiers, ready.
Try to burn me.
Oh, combos there.
You guys,
Nasty
listen
spot.
to me if you want to live. Requested units have arrived.
Awaiting orders.
And there you go, the 2nd Panzer IV rolls off to join the fight at the front line.
From an enemy pack.
Coming back here to Pavlov. In time for the mid-game analysis too. I mean, current situation here is a bit, Pavlov is a bit on the back foot after a great start though, but sadly wasn't able to exploit it, in my personal opinion, sort of properly. And now Jesulin is basically striking back here, sort of shifting in, weaving back and forth, sort of taking long paths, harassing vital points, forcing then Pavlov sort of double back and sort of try and deal with harassers, which then sort of pulled forces away from the front line, then allowing Jesulin to push forwards there. I mean, it's a bit of a rather intriguing game in that department. Lots of sort of thinking, doubt and prediction, sort of trying to figure out what the other side might do, and both sides sort of trying to hurt the other one's fuel supply. You know, are they going for the core point here, or basically going straight for the fuel point? And particularly, I mean, it either depends on the 2 players here, because most of Jesulin's forces are centered around here. I mean, he needs to go for the fuel point west, down, south. I mean, most of the forces are more centered around this axis rather than this axis, and again, not around here, which again leaves this one more open. And again, when it comes to harassment, you usually want strategic points. It's going to be just quick to clear out and actually cut the fuel supplies. So in that department, I mean, Jesulin is at a slight advantage there in terms of sort of tactical harassment, if you will. Though there are, of course, also the booby traps, and we need to keep booby trap in this point. Also, this point should be considered. That would definitely be an idea. But currently, I mean, he needs to get some more armor, and he needs to sort of push a bit more aggressively. He needs to use his field guns a bit more aggressive as well in support. I mean, they rather tend up sort of be hanging quite far a bit back, not providing fire support in any way. I mean, a few barrages could also provide help, but overall just providing some additional firepower against the Panzer IV. And that department, he's a bit lacking. He's sort of not quite fully committing at times, which I think is overall giving Jesulin sort of more of an advantage, sort of trying to get away with his panzers and other fun things, and also the way he sort of plays that. I mean, at the same time, I mean, Pavlov is trying to sort of hold a huge swath of territory, whereas Jesulin seems to sort of be, you know, he harasses but basically doesn't defend some of it. Instead, he just sort of pressures most of his force, and right there, Jesulin also seems to be slightly more strategically ahead. Again, slight harassment there, drawing away forces, and then again, he still keeps most concentrated in a smaller part of the map, whereas for Pavlov, it's a bit more spread out all over the place, and currently he feels like he's more reacting than acting. He's more playing along or dancing along to Jesulin's tune, which is actually something you sort of want to be careful with. In that case, I mean, Pavlov needs to sort of begin playing his own game. He needs to sort of deliver some serious blows to Jesulin, forcing Jesulin back away from the initiative and on the back foot. For Jesulin, I mean, he's got a decent force. He needs to be, of course, be watchful of booby traps and other fun things, and otherwise, you know, he just needs to keep doing what he has. Again, I've sort of explained what he's doing, and he's largely doing it all right. I mean, there's no problems there. His Panzer keeping alive, doing some damage, of course. So the same with the T-34, but you know, there's only one at the moment. Another Panzer IV would be an idea. I mean, the only thing I really sort of point out is he needs to get a commander up. All 3 at the moment, ideal. I mean, he could get this one, you know, if he wants sort of playing a bit more defensively, hold on some tanks, get a command tank pack for the fee. Who knows? This one, of course, offers its own advantages, but at the same time, considering he's sort of heading more towards armor, this could perhaps be less than ideal. Although again, troop training, Pan tactician, get some Panzer Force quick up to veteran 2 or 3, and this one, of course, assault support, get the field officers out, get some strafing guns, fragmentation bombs, have a Tiger, have an overblitz. I mean, there are some thoughts there as well. But let us turn to the fight here, back under Pavlov.
Standing by. Yes, comrade.
Pulling out the T-34 to a more reserved position.
Field gun standing
In slight
by.
advancing here, under 5 from mortars. There you go, Panzer IV moves in, under 5 there from T-34. T-34 gets off the first hit down the Panzerkampfwagen. There we go, the T-34 still sort of leading there. Gaining veterans 1. Field gun moving up a bit slow there, but might be able to do something there. There we go, setting up. But Panzer IV quickly pulls up behind the house, saving himself there from a shot from the field gun, and it's a 76.2mm shot. Panzer IV looks like he might be trying to flank in here. Good reaction there by Jesulin. Realising this position here, and there's a weakness in the opening on the centre. He pushes in with his Panzer IV. Well played there, well played there. Good tactical sense there by Jesulin. Panzer IV here though, might be moving a bit too far ahead, opening himself up to the field gun. Gonna need to moving up the map, trying to clear up Panzer IV, chips back here, so pressure opens up. Getting onto the viewport there. Still the field gun's being pushed back, the T-34's being pulled back, Conscript's being pushed back. Overall, a rather advantageous engagement here. So Jesulin can now then focus on the other assault, which has considerably less armoured and anti-tank support. Again, the field gun is being held back. In fact, he seems to be reacting with it. So in this case, Jesulin actually retains momentum despite an attempt to hit a stalwart defender could have robbed him of it. Which is overall a bit of a dangerous situation you want to avoid.
AT gun here.
Field gun's being rushed back here, still no sign of an additional tank or a half-track or something. Veteran engineers already at work here getting that T-34 combat ready once more. Halfway there to Veteran C2 as well, which would increase in damage and rate of fire overall. Noticeably increasing in damage it can do in a fight. Conscripts here though on the other hand in a bit of trouble with the Panzer IV.
Supply sector under attack.
Infantry rapidly following up here on the Veteran Panzerkampfwagen 4. Slight advance over there.
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
More grenadiers here supporting the Panzer IV. Another T-34 finally on the way, certainly took a time. Certainly took its time. But Pavlov definitely putting more than defensive now grenadiers. Panzer IV moving ahead once more. Grenadiers take a bit of damage, but overall not too much. Another boot trap here. Oh, good lord. And there we go, almost lost an entire grenadier squad again. There we go, Panzer IV on the fire from the field gun, but at the same time, Pavlov once more left it open there to an infantry assault from the centre. I mean, he's rather forgetting that right angle. It's a bit dangerous. Another field gun moves up as this one's getting cleared out from behind. Only 42 tanks up to cover out the T-34 moving in. Field gun crew here massacred, and at the same time, this one managed to sneak up here on the infantry positions. Right there, nice shot there, but Jesulin gun is hit, might go down. Panzer IV moving in, going to get the other field gun. T-34 need to attack and do some damage, and there you go, by the way, Veteran 2. And, oh, railway artillery. That sound cannot be mistaken, and there we go. Schwer Gustav fires in support of the Großdeutschland. And there we go. Oh, Panzer IV managed to shrug off the anti-tank grenade. T-34 swinging in though. Sadly there are no mines here which could otherwise help the T-34s against the Panzer IV. Still two T-34s including one Veteran 2 should have a chance of versus the Panzer IV. Unless Jesulin is able to cover his advance or retreat reasonably well. Two more Panzer IVs advancing on the left flank. Things are looking a bit grim here. For Pavlov, units are getting wiped out. MD-42 left behind here. Field guns abandoned. T-34 swiftly retreating, helping to avoid a cruel and explosive fate. Clearing up the field guns here, ensuring the Bolsheviks can't get them back. Good decision there by Jesulin.
Yes, comrade.
With more engineers on the way, more field guns on the way.
Engineer standing by.
Looks like he's actually trying to clear out that machine gun, but his Panzer seem to be having a bit of a harder time hitting that thing. certainly things are looking a bit grim for Pavlov, having had such a strong start again, failing to capitalize on it in my opinion.
Enemy forces capturing supply
Now he
sector.
needs to do something to sort of break things back. I mean, he's got some veteran T-34 here, which could certainly provide him with a small edge, particularly if he can get to veteran T3.
The enemy
But
is taking
currently
what we
it's
have
not
secured.
quite there.
Opened up on us! Field guns.
Another field gun arriving.
Enemy on the right! They are flanking us! We're under attack!
Literally 2 mortar there. S-Man's going up to cover this cut-off point. Sharp thinking by Jesulin.
Awaiting command!
Now Jesulin, on the other hand, now with the kind of advantage that Pavlov had initially, is actually using it to lay down mines to make things harder for Pavlov to get back in the fight. That is rather how he should have done it, although of course he wouldn't have had S-Mines, but still, he could have laid down some mines of the more regular kind. But there we go again, realising that all the action is going to have to happen on the right flank because it's likely expecting the left flank to be locked down. Good job thinking there. T-34 pushing it and now go maiming the Grenadiers.
We are bleeding, comrades!
T-34 almost halfway there to veteran T3 already. Pack 40 being shifted over to sort of try and contain the Bolshevik armoured advance. Conscripts moving up, field guns, support weapons. Field guns there covering in flank. Good job. T-34's quick to react here.
The sector is at risk.
Counter forward, down to our field. Gonna Spears covering there, but not quite going to do much. But S-Man's going off, but of course won't do much to harm the T-34. Look here, it is fireworks. And holding another charge up here. No field gun to cover that again. He does seem to have a slight knack for pulling a bit too far back, I think. And immediately sitting back, repairing those damaged panzers. Points are no longer in the favour of Pavlov, sadly. And there we go, actually using the veteran's ability to attack to seize a point. Good job there.
AT gun here.
Panzer IV moving in, needs to stop. Oh dear, he wasn't quite in, there we go. Oh, both panzers miss.
Awaiting command.
Incendiary artillery barrage also available. If you can spot up the field gun of Pack 40, he might be able to clear it up with that. Opening things up further to punish the panzers with some field guns in his own support. And again, it rather depends on if he actually gets around to doing it. If he gets around to doing it. Looks like he's shifting in there.
MG, keep your heads down.
MG42 coming down there. Well positioned. Gonna actually need to be careful in the middle of the S-mine field. And we go, the T-34 is punishing the fascists for making the mistake of standing out in their own bloody field, and at the same time they're shooting the sword going in here. Panzer IV, can he save? And there we go! Railway artillery going down, another field gun. Pop smoke there. Ooh, can he escape the wrath
Taking fire.
of the rather heavy artillery? There we go, one tree, pretty much.
Machine guns has been
You knew it, T-34 sitting back in their set, happens, another field gun left abandoned. Pavlov needs to be able to sort of utilise his field guns a bit more. He has to like to end up overextending them. Now the T-34 has to push back. Panzer IVs are moving in. T-34's unleashing hell here. Field gun there cleared out. The crew dead. Veteran 2 on 1 Panzer IV. Back to Jesulin. With 4 Panzer IVs. Got him. That's quite an armoured force been able to build up. Field gun there, might be able to find to the rear. T-35 almost eventually flee. Almost, but not quite there.
That's a fast standing. Railway cannon has reloaded.
T-34, oh there we go, veterans he flee. More mobile and with an even higher rate of fire. There go blitzing that way to save the Panther IV there. Both T-34s rapidly extracting themselves from this mess. Overall, the Großdeutschland really has an advantage now.
You need something?
Rather nice turnaround by Jesulin by now. Barely any units left here for Pavlov, at least in comparison to Jesulin. Both sides having 3 engineer units, though in that department Pavlov has a small advantage in his being actually veteran engineers, thus having a faster repair speed. And there we go, getting more of them to work on the damage T-34, and there we go. More T-34 arriving. Doing another field gun.
Yeah, you found something?
Field gun is wrecked, kaput.
And he shoots as bad as he steals!
All of a sudden the T-34 here joins the action. Ready to advance with its high rate of fire. And fire away. Grenadier dead. Cool, another T-34 breaking in there, forcing away the MG-42 there. Looks like he's starting up a fresh offensive. Other T-34 needs to get moving up to support the first one. So it's like, oh, at the same time this one now needs a bit exposed, a bit on his own. And looks like Jesulin will punish the one there. And looks like he will lose it, rather unfortunately it isn't there by Pavlov. Other T-34 forming in again, field gun's not quite there to support. He does seem to have a slight issue with that.
We are suffering losses.
Which really is only to the advantage of Jesulin's Panthers. Now with 2 veteran, 2 Panzer Force, overall 4, and he's got a command Panzer 4. That's actually a full Panzer 4 platoon he has right there. 4 Panzer 4s and a command tank. Veteran 3 T-34 forming up there, Panzer Spook popping up there.
Forces are securing our territory.
Need to be careful here with it. The veteran 3 T-34 will be the most taking fire, and there we go, field gun Frank support as well.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Almost getting it, this one needs to pull back. Quickly, Yuri, get out of there. Might lose it. The third Panzer now supplying support there, 2 Panzer Force almost down. This one almost ready to join the fight again.
Panzer 4 command tanks can now be deployed.
One there secure, victory points continue to rapidly ticking down there for Pavlov. There we go, the third Panzer coming under fire. There we go, basically 2 Panzer 4 moving in. Nazi chasing, concepts should be getting shredded here with machine gun fire. Now Panzer 4 fire. A killing zone in front of the victory point. Not been good there. Other Panzer 4 shot again. Ultra close to victory 2. Panzer 4 moving from the north field, getting flanked here. The other T-34 needs to react to this rapidly. Now on the other hand, this Panzer 4 from Jesulin is going to be the focus. Oh! Artillery going in again. Another railway artillery shot.
Down to 75
Pavlov
points.
also managing a few veteran tanks there.
Heads down!
Field going through there in a spot of trouble.
Ready!
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
And actually barraging the Grenadiers, actually doing a massive amount of damage to them. Can the T-34 finish it off?
There's only 50 points remaining.
Close. Ah, there we go. Most of the Panzer Force actually in a total condition again. We do see, oh, also a lot of the Grenadiers are now actually dead here for Jesulin. MD crew down as well. We're actually seeing here that Jesulin's speeding up. We still got the Panzers, although quite a few of them are damaged. If Pavlov here can keep his tanks probably, well, maintained, he might have a chance here, a slight chance. But can he do it?
We are close to victory.
Needs to be careful.
Press on.
Doesn't run into the wrong tank at the wrong
25
time.
points remaining.
And there we go, the Veteran 2 Panzer Force are making 1 close to Veteran 3 even. Ah, yeah. There we go, he lost his Veteran 2 Panzer 4 in a slightly ignominious way. Rather unfortunate there. He might lose the last Grenadier squad here. No, looks like he makes it out of there reasonably alive. The points are rapidly going against Pavlov's favour. He's down to 14, his opponent's 300. He's got most of the tanks, barely in infantry, but still most of the bloody tanks. The panzers. Smoke laid down. A nice shot there by Pavlov to buy himself more time and hopefully he'll secure it without issue. Pioneers pushing in, but they are under fire as well here from the conscripts. Desperately laying down into nature's defense. Engine damage. T-34 needs to get back then again. I mean, as you might have noticed, he's constantly having to rush sort of from point to point here as Jesulin strikes.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
The veteran 3 T-34 moves up. Pride of Comrade Stalin and the Soviet Army. And there we go, another veteran 2 Panzer IV. I mean, there's quite a few veteran tanks in this match, which is actually quite impressive to note.
Panzer IV standing by. Panzer IV ready. Panzer IV.
Red Army attacking!
Mortar fire going in there.
Awaiting fire mission.
Don't let them flank us!
Pull back, pull back!
Contact Soviets.
The T-34 continues to fight. Might get the pack there, might get the pack field gun firing. Whoops. And there we go, Panther 4 flanking in, MG42 trying to set up there. Oh no, he might lose the T-34 to the Pack 40. Oh, yes.
They're losing crewmen!
The enemy has destroyed an anti-tank.
If those Panzer 4 starts to move in now, they could probably knock it out. But no, it looks like Pablo here pulls it back wisely enough. But overall, the victory points are not looking good. The West Flank has once more collapsed.
Ready for action.
To the remainders of the Großdeutschlandtruppen. Most of the Panzer 4s now really doing the work.
Panzer IV ready. Panzer IV.
Grenadiers reporting objective capture.
They're taking fire from
And he starts getting more Panzer 4s. As opposed, there's not really much reason not to get them at the moment.
enemy unit destroyed.
And there we go, GG. Well played. Nice sportsmanship there. Nice sportsmanship there. Anyways, game over there. I mean, a nicely played game there. Again, we saw urban defense being played. We saw here that Pavlov, he started out pretty strong, but then he really didn't follow up. I really think, you know, one of the major mistakes he committed here, again, it was forward headquarters. He had a nice chunk of the map, but, you know, there were no mines for starters. He was not rapid enough to sort of get up a support room company and get a mortar, because, again, he should have, you know, pretty much figured, you know, I've got a forward headquarters in a rather important point that controls two cut-off points. One of its counters is a mortar. My opponent would like to get a mortar. I should probably urge myself to get a mortar as quickly as possible to sort of delay that response as well, or at least keep it harassed. He didn't. That was one major issue. Second, again, he had a lot of territory. He could have mined it. He didn't. That also made it easier for Jesulin to sort of get back and swiftly push forward, because as all of this were getting sort of blasted bits, he was then sort of forced to fall back in one huge wave and didn't have anything to delay, so that way Jesulin could quickly push forwards. That was another mistake. Then later in the game, sort of again, we sort of gained things, but at the same time, he made another mistake here, Pavlov. And that was, I mean, he kept running around with his field guns. And also, when he actually engaged and he actually pushed forwards, he still kept them back. I mean, there was sort of a curious disconnect. In part, he had them, but he didn't use them when he was attacking, and when they were defending, they were too far back to actually cover his infantry. I mean, the thing about field guns and any anti-tanking is generally you want them to be able to cover infantry. He generally didn't have that. He was very passive with them, and then, of course, at the same time, he then all of a sudden pushed them in, and again, that was another issue. I mean, he was trying to defend too much. He'd shift the field guns back and forwards, and usually then they'd be caught out in the open and wiped out. That happened several times. So in that department, he was trying to play defensively, but then he was trying to play defensively across too large an area. He should have basically sort of decided, okay, I want to hold this part initially, and then I will slowly push forwards. Instead, he tried to hold a much wider front, and that really didn't work out very favorably to him the way he was playing. And that department, you know, there were some other issues there, and ultimately couldn't exploit it. And the question also becomes: should he gone for this? Should he gone for the weapon support company? Gun, some Katyushas, some S-35s, and maybe things would have looked a bit different then. Who knows? But overall, I mean, there were some strategic issues there, I think, for Pavlov, which again then allowed Jesulin to play a nice, aggressive, smooth, mobile game, because that is constantly what Jesulin was doing. He was constantly shifting, harassing. He was just saying, okay, there's too much resistance here, I will go around it and go for the cut-off points. That will force Pavlov to respond, and that kept doing that. And again with the Panzer force, okay, there's anti-tank guns here, I will attack elsewhere, force them to come there, and then I will attack the field guns as they're moving. I mean, constantly aggressive, mobile, fluid play by Jesulin, overall outplaying Pavlov. Even though Pavlov really had such a great start again, he was simply not able to follow up on it, and that really gave Jesulin the time he needed to sort of really dig in and, well, basically, in an essence, in a metaphor, stab Pavlov to death. So, I mean, overall, I mean, really nicely played there on both sides, but again, Pavlov simply couldn't match himself with Jesulin's aggressive play. So hopefully we enjoyed this match. Hopefully you learned some things about it and you're understanding the importance of actually shifting, you know, point of focus, and also not just attacking straight into a strong point, but also trying to sort of get around it and do some other things that drawing your opponent's attention away, because that's really one of the things that allowed Jesulin to sort of really flourish during this match. So hopefully you've gotten some inspiration from your own games. Hopefully you've learned some things. If you did, why not subscribe and tell your friends? Share it with everyone. If not, you know, send in a replay and provide some feedback in the comments. This is Imperial Dane saying cheers.